Hi all, welcome back to New Post today, and today let's do part 6 of the Telangana State Public Service Commission Group 1 mains examination, upcoming mains examination. Today let's examine two important sectors of the industry, and in my coming post also I'll be covering the industry area from the economy paper, and let's look at two important industrial sectors in the state, burgeoning, or you can call them even sunrising as well, because of the vast and the wide varied opportunities that the Telangana state itself is offering, not only in policies but also the conducive area, institutional infrastructure framework with regard to these sectors. And number one is your food processing sector in Telangana, and let's look at aerospace and civil aviation. Apart from this, with these two sectors, I'll be covering the important achievements and also the important highlights of the annual reports that have been submitted recently to the Telangana government, the annual report of the industries with respect to the Telangana state government. Let's look at the food processing sector. As we know that the major employment provider in the state is agriculture, and food processing is one of the important state sectors related to agriculture. Food processing is the area which provides the farmer with extra money for the harvest, and also it is a major agriculture is a major raw material provider for the food processing sector. Keeping in mind that with regard to the high cultivable area in the state, and also the agriculture composition with regard to the population, the food processing sector in Telangana has a lot of bright prospects, and we have seen a lot of investments with regard to food processing zones coming up in various districts. Let's have a quick review of this. Food processing now has already been identified as one of the 14 trust sectors for the Telangana state, and currently the food processing sector processes almost approximately 25% of the agriculture and allied output by value and adds 12.45% in value as well. Telangana is now blessed with a rich food raw material base, which is ready for which has been increasing in production since 2014 and 15, and Telangana is ranked first across the country for production of turmeric and sweet orange. Further, Telangana is also well accepted as a leader recently in meat, seed and also poultry as well. Moreover, there is also huge potential for inland fisheries with regard to the inland fisheries development in the state. Government of Telangana is taking to develop the inland fisheries and the fisheries sector, organizing meat processing. So we have the state sheep policy with regard, and this has increased the sheep numbers and also the meat production as well. Greenhouse and exotic vegetable cultivation in the state has also been taken up. So this is a quick introduction to this, and let's take a quick introduction to the aerospace and the civil aviation as well. So Hyderabad has already been ranked as number one aerospace city for future in cost effectiveness parameter by a report called as the Financial Times FDI ranking. Now this recognition reflects a state progressive outlook towards the aerospace sector. Let me tell you, many of the companies are coming and setting up their MRO facilities, that is maintenance, repair and overall facilities here. Telangana hosts many production lines for US major like Lockheed Martin, Tata Group that manufactures and exports the Sikorsky helicopter cabins, C-130J engines and the F-16 wings, the Raytheon Group's Pratt & Whitney, which is the only engine training center in India, that is in Hyderabad, and Safran has recently inaugurated its aero engine parts manufacturing facility and also announced the first engine MRO by an original equipment manufacturer in India by Safran. The manufacturing ecosystem is supported by a strong 1,000 plus MSMEs in the state exclusively into aerospace and defense, many of whom have already been integrated into the global supply chain. Now let's look at the major reports with regard to the highlights with regard to the reports that have been recently released by the Telangana government with food processing sector first. Well, and it is most important to track the developments because we are close to completing 10 years of separation and the new state, the birth of a new state. So if you look at the investments in the food processing sectors over the 9 years, the development and promotion of the food processing has become a priority because agriculture is the main vocation here in the state, and it contributes to a lot to the food processing sector as well. Now the food processing sector has contributed to Telangana's gross value added in 2021-22 at an estimated of 12,000 crore. Now the food processing sector also plays a very crucial role in the state's economic growth, agriculture development, especially supporting the farmers, and a lot of employment generation as well. Since 2014, food processing sector has generated a fixed capital investment of 6,800 crores and establishment of 3,800 units and created almost 80,000 employment opportunities across the state. Further, the sector is also poised to grow at a much faster rate in the next few years. Additional investments of 15,000 crore at various stages of implementing are already being completed. By about 2024, they will be completed. So we have 3,800 units of food processing sector, 80,000 people who are employed. The fixed capital investment is at 6,800 crore, and the GVA, just gross state value added, is 12,000 crore by the food processing sector from 2014 to 2022. Major investments come from Fission, Smart, Monin, Sugna Foods, Mars, Mankind, Hudson, Sneha, Freedom, ITC, Dukes, Unibic, etc. Let's look at the special food processing zones are being set up by the Telangana government, which covers 10,000 acres, and you have the food processing zones coming up in Nizamabad, Nirmal, Nizamabad, Kamareddy, Rajana, Sirsilla, Sangareddy, Siddipet, Vikarabad, Siddipet, Mehboob Nagar, Vanaparthi, Mancherial, Jagatyal, the Hanmakonda, Kambam, and Nalagonda and Nagar Kurnool as well. So as of March 2023, the total land according to these food processing zones is 6,000 acres already, and there are 77 food processing companies in these food processing zones. So if you look at the micro, there are another sector in this food processing industries which are called as micro food processing industries, and the government is playing a role of a hand holding support to these industries. It has been focusing on the micro food processing industries a lot across the state, empowering the small and micro food processing industries to hand holding support, as I told you, starting from identification of the business idea to preparing a detailed project report, securing collateral free bank loans for these enterprises, and facilitating installment and also improving market linkages for these enterprises. A dedicated interdepartment team is also helping to create thousands of micro food processing industries or enterprises in the state, and the state is drawing its advantage also from Pradhan Mantri formalization of micro enterprises scheme, which is funded 60% by the center and 40% by the state government, which has been active from 2020 and 21. Now there's a lot of progress that has been made till March 2023 by the food processing sector. A seed capital amount of 36 crore has been dispersed now to the self-help groups. 4,900 seed capital beneficiaries have been are identified. 3 common incubation centers, one with regard to millets in Hyderabad, spice processing in Warangal rural, and rice and mango processing in the Jagatyal district are coming up. And apart from that, we have something called as play and plug supply chain initiatives. The government of Telangana now is facilitating backward linkages for the food processing industries through collaboration with Tribal Welfare Department, Social Welfare Department, Agriculture and Horticulture Department, Animal Husbandry Department, etc. Backward linkages for purchase of 4,000 crore worth raw material by various food processing companies such as Plant, Lipids, Godrej, Mars, Scoop, Sugana Foods, Hisa, Fruitfall, etc. has been allocated. And thus this is what are the major steps taken to further develop the food processing sector. Let's get into aerospace and defense. Aerospace and defense sector in Telangana has now been reaping global acclaim, especially we see our ministers attending the Defense Expo or be it any major event even in the outside of India as well, and this is reaping a lot of investments into Telangana. Telangana won the best state award by our own Ministry of Civil Aviation at the center for the consecutive 3rd time in a row in 2018, 20 and 22 for being the Indian state with the most forward looking towards policies towards aerospace and aviation sector as well, and especially most cost effective global aerospace hub in the country. The key highlight of the year was the announcement of the Safran engine MRO project with 15,000 crore investment, creating an employment for about 1,000 people, and this will be the first engine maintenance, repair and overall or MRO facility and it is the largest in Safran MRO network globally. Safran inaugurated 2 factories this year in Hyderabad, the Safran Electricals and Power Factory, which is manufacturing wire harnesses, and Safran Aircraft's engine factory manufacturing aero engine parts for the engine. Safran also announced a 100-seater IT division in Hyderabad. This will provide a lot of employment, especially in the aerospace. The state government also actively participated in Defence Expo in Gujarat and also in Bangalore, and also international events such as the Farnborough Air Show in UK, etc. Now the major highlights are Airbus announced manufacturing of cargo and bulk cargo doors in Hyderabad. Boeing announced its first passenger to freighter conversion line for Boeing in Hyderabad MRO facility. Delivery of the first made in Telangana Apache helicopter to the Indian Army by Tata Boeing Aerospace Limited. Launch of Amazon Air, Amazon's dedicated freight services in Hyderabad. This is the first time outside US and Europe. And groundbreaking elusive manufacturing of Mitsubishi Heavy Engineering at Azad Engineering Aerospace Complex. Groundbreaking ceremony of Integrated Missile Complex at Zahirabad, and also the aerospace facility of SKM Technologies as Adibatla as well. And major events that I told you is participation in Defence Expo, participation in Aero India 2023, Farnborough Aerospace Show, CII Defence Conclave in November 2022, a national conference of evolving ecosystem and aerospace challenges opportunities, and also the Economic Times Digital Conclave as well. So there have been a series of overseas delegations as well, and many investments. So these are the green highlights, especially of the aerospace and defence and food processing industries in the industries report that has been recently released with regard to 22 and 23, and also the achievements in the past 9 years, which is very important for the upcoming group examination. And I shall see you with other major sectors of the industries in the coming posts, and until then, it's very happy learning.